And thanks so much for joining me. We're going to just begin in a seated position. Feel free to have plenty of blankets and towels around you so you can make yourself as comfortable as you'd like on the floor. It really helps to kind of stack up a few blankets or towels so you can get your hips higher than your knees. So feel free to take a minute if you need to grab some extra props, or even like a couch cushion, something kind of nice and firm can be helpful. It's so nice to see all your faces. So just at your own pace, just begin. You can close your eyes down, that always helps me. But just begin with little circles with your hips. We're just going to gently warm up today. It's a cold morning. So think about inhaling when you move forward and exhaling when you move back. And really just focusing on your own breath and your own pace. And get the kids in there. I love seeing the little faces this morning. Feel free to change direction. This is about you feeling into your body, connecting with the ground, feeling solid, centered, coming into our bodies. Taking a minute to let go of outside stresses and come into this space that we're giving ourselves an hour just to devote to our bodies. So you might begin to make your circles a little more exaggerated. Bring your shoulders into it. Really scoop forward and scoop back. Again, play with which direction you want to be going based on what your hips are telling you this morning. Kind of bring your shoulders even closer to your knees, finding length in your spine. And then I'm going to scoop back again. Okay, we'll do a few more circles and then we'll come to just a nice, tall, seated position. And then just begin to bring your shoulders up, back, and down. So up with your inhale, up towards your ears, and then exhale, roll them back, pull them back, stretch your chest open, stretch your heart open. Just inhaling up, exhaling back. And at the same time, we're thinking about keeping our hips planted nice and evenly and pulling the top of your head, acting like there's a string that runs all the way through your head, from the top of your head all the way down through your spine. So we're lifting totally through our spines, getting as tall as we can, pulling our ribs up away from our hips. Nice. And you can keep circling, or you can just gently pull up. Think about your neck now, making a nice long line with your neck. And just hold there for a few breaths. In this nice upright position. Okay, let's bring our arms into it. Can you open up your arms big and wide? Some of this I'll be talking to the kids, trying to keep them interested. And then squeeze yourself, give yourself a big hug. Think about which arm is on top for this big squeezy hug. And then open up again. And then give yourself a big squeezy hug with the other arm on top. And do this too at your own pace, with your own breath. As exaggerated as feels good to you. Notice you can get more open with each big arm movement, shoulder. Bring your neck into it. Tune into your body, where you're feeling little snaps and crackles or what needs to be loosened. Do one more on each side. Big inhale. Big squeezy exhale. You can round your back. Big inhale. And one more nice squeeze. Okay, so now come up, have your arms in a big circle in front of you. It's like you're holding your own hand. And then exhale and just twist your whole torso to the right with the exhale, and then inhale, center. And then just again following your own breath, exhale to the opposite side, inhale, center, and just be gentle with yourself, gentle with your spine. But we're warming up the full length of our spine into our hips and low back with these twists. Just at your own pace, your own breath. Okay, we'll do one more each side. Okay, now drop your arms aside, kind of shake out any tension, any tightness. Do a little more little shoulder rolls if you're feeling it. Let's warm our necks up a little bit. So just allow your right ear to fall toward your right shoulder. Make sure you're keeping your shoulders down. You can have your eyes open and look up to the left if you like, or have them closed. And just finding length in our neck. Feeling it get a little longer with each exhale. You can roll it forward, finding that length in the back of your neck, down into your shoulders. I always spend a good amount of time on neck and shoulders because it seems that we all have that in common. We can find tightness there. It's great to just spend time letting it go. And you can begin to bring your left ear toward your left shoulder. Wherever you need to find balance in your own neck, just spend some time there. Evening things out. And you can play with doing half circles or even full circles if it feels good to bring your chin up and stretch through the front of your neck. Okay, find some balance there, feeling all evened out. Now we'll do a big inhale, scoop your arms up with the inhale, bring your arms to center, and then on the exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee, and we'll do an even deeper stretch and twist to the back. So just looking over your right shoulder with the exhale, and inhale up when you're ready, and change direction. And again, your own breath, your own pace. You're thinking about squeezing out your entire torso like a wet rag with each exhale. So inhaling up when you're ready, and exhaling, just switching sides, finding more and more length, more twist. Keeping your posture in mind, hips planted firmly. And do one more inhale. One more deep exhale, twist. And then come back again to center when you're ready. Nice job. Okay, let's come onto our knees. And feel free to keep a blanket under your knees, under your wrists, wherever you need a little support. A little extra softening. And just come into tabletop. So you've got your knees directly in line under your hips, your wrists directly underneath your shoulders in a nice straight line. And then we'll begin to do cat and cow. So we'll drop our bellies and lift our chin for cow. You can go ahead and moo if you'd like. And then with the exhale, arch your back, push it toward the ceiling. Exhale everything out. You're pushing the floor away with your hands. And then just inhale, drop your belly, point your tailbone and your chin up. And continue at your own pace. As exaggerated as you'd like these movements, wherever you want to find a little extra wiggle in your hips or through your ribs. Just warming everything up. You can let your head hang heavy here. Find a little more length in the neck. Roll out your jaw. Let your cheeks get loose. It's a great place where you can find tension you didn't even know you had in your face and just shake it out. A few more cat-cow breaths. Inhale, dropping your belly. Exhale, pushing the ground away from you. And now you can add a little more rotation in your hips and shoulders, making circles to one direction. Little circles or big exaggerated circles. And see how your knees are feeling. Kind of compare. And if you need to give one a break, you can bring that leg out long. Push through your heel. Again, this is just kind of time to freestyle you and your body, warming things up, checking in. If you're still doing circles, switch to the opposite direction. Okay, and then if it feels good to you, go ahead and push your hips back toward your heels. You can have your knees together or open nice and wide, and just see about coming down into a child's pose. It's a great full body stretch, nice long spine, reaching your hands out in front of you. You can have your fingertips tented up or your hands flat on the ground. You can see if you can pull your elbows toward the ground, getting a nice stretch across the top of your shoulders. Your forehead might even come to the ground, or if you've got a blanket there, let it relax onto the blanket. And just take a few breaths here. Find some length, find some softness. See if you can feel the earth supporting the weight of your body, letting you relax down into it. Whatever little wiggles you want to add to balance yourself out and adjust your body. Okay, just prepare yourself to push back up to hands and knees. And then we'll come up just to our knees and drop your hands to your lower back, opening your chest again. Wiggle your hips and see if you can push them forward. You can have your feet flat on the ground, or for balance, sometimes it helps to put your toes, arch your feet up and put your toes up. And just push your hips forward, opening your chest. A few breaths here, really opening. You can clasp your hands and pull your fists down and get even a little more stretch to the top of your shoulder blades. Even lifting your arms away from your body, increasing that stretch even more. Okay, let's come into standing. I'm going to grab my water. Feel free to do so as well. We'll do a few of our balance poses. Some of you have gotten to try them, but not everybody has. So first we'll come into mountain pose, which I know I've described before, but it's also where we'll end at the end of class in Shavasana. So same idea. You've got your ankles right under your knees, knees right under your hips. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. So you're really stacking your full body in nice alignment. Let your hands just fall where they are. And then think about, again, that string pulling the top of your head up, and it's going all the way through your spine. So that's just a great posture to think about anytime, like trying to keep your shoulders over your hips, even just when you're sitting in your chair during the day. Yoga transformed my posture, so that is something I love sharing, is like, it's okay to look proud. Chin up, chest back. So really feel your feet planted into the ground here. I love imagining just like energy feeding my body up through the ground. But you're thinking about each corner of your foot. You can lift your toes up even to feel the ball of your foot and the little ball of your pinky toe. Really having weight evenly distributed between the front and the back of your foot. You can drop your toes back down. And now let's think about putting our weight into our right foot and just kind of play around with that. See, can you balance just on the one foot? You can always use your left foot like a little kickstand. And then just begin to really, it's not about what I'm doing here, it's about you focusing in on your own balance. But see, play around and see, and feel free to have a chair or a wall nearby, but see, and if you already know that, you can come into a standing balance pose, just feel free to get there. But the only where you don't want to have your foot is right there on your knee. So either on your calf or higher up on your leg, but you're pressing your foot against your leg to find that balance. And feel free to bring your hands to heart center. Find a gaze on the wall or ceiling in front of you. And see about calming your breath. And just hold. Nice job. Okay, just come out of that gracefully and move your balance over to your left side. So think about really planting that left foot. Bring your weight onto your left side and then just see what it feels like on this side. And it may feel quite different from one side to the other, and that's okay. Bring your gaze. You can even play with closing your eyes. It's really can be a challenge, but it's a great thing to know. Like on one side, can you do it, and the other side not? And then just kind of work on that and see if you can find balance within yourself. Okay, nice job. Feel free to shake your legs out, shake everything out. It's amazing how we can bring tension into our bodies without even realizing it. So I find between poses, it's like, ooh, I managed to bring something into my shoulders. Let me shake that out. All right, let's do our standing T. So for this one, you can hold your hands behind your back. You're keeping your chest open. And just step forward with your right foot. And you can start with a bend in your knee, but you're going to lean forward. Then you can straighten your knee if you've got that. But to see about pointing your hips directly toward the ground and see about, can you make your body look like a capital letter T? And you can pull back with your fists, your shoulders, opening your chest here as well. You're holding your abs in And basically pulling the back side of your body up toward the ceiling. Working everything on the back side. And you can obviously take a break and come back in, try again. Or see if you can hold nice and still. And don't hold your breath. Make sure you're keeping your breath nice and even. Okay, step back when you're ready. Shake those legs out. Shake your arms out. And we'll try on the other side. So big step forward with the left foot. Find your balance. Bring your chest forward. Oops, I didn't have it on the left side. There you go. And add some bend in your knee if you need it. As much as you need. Keep breathing. And pointing your hips toward the floor. Try to make sure you've got your body nice and flat, pointed toward the floor. Okay, take a break, step back, shake your legs out. I'm gonna grab water again. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my very favorite sun salutation. And you can take it as slow as you want. You can cut out parts you don't want. But I'm going to show you because it has become my favorite thing to do in the morning and then do it again in the afternoon to compare how stiff my body can be in the morning. and so I love seeing the difference. So you guys get to see my stiff morning sun salutation. But begin with your hands at heart center. And just inhale, bringing your palms up, pushing your hips forward, and really trying to bring your shoulders back, like almost behind your ears. So big stretch up and back. And on the exhale, fold forward, as much bend as you need in your knees to bring your hands down to the floor. I should have started a little higher up on my mat. And then you can step your right foot back and plant it and lunge forward with your chest and your chin up, fingertips on the floor. And if you want to have a chair nearby for stability, feel free, depending on where you are with your comfort in your knees. But you're just lunging forward, really opening up the front of your right hip flexor. Then you can bring your left foot back to meet the right. You can be up in plank or have your knees on the ground. A nice stretch here. And then if your knees aren't already on the ground, you can drop them down and then it's like you're pointing your butt up in the air and bringing your chest and chin down to the floor. And then drop your belly on the floor. Inhale up, pointing your chin up in a little baby cobra. So you feel this, you're engaging your low back muscles. And now pushing up and back to a gentle down dog. And you can push each heel back individually, walking your dog. But you're pushing your chest through your shoulders. You've got your hands flat on the floor, trying to make a straight line with your wrists. And if you need to be on your knees here, no problem. This is about easing your body into some full body stretches. But if you're back up and down dog, then just look at your hands and step your right foot back between your hands. And you can use your hands to help guide it up there. But now we're just lunging on the other side. So we're kind of back where we started, but with the opposite leg. And then when you're ready, just step your left foot next to your right. Again, as much bend as you need in your knees. And then inhale up and hands to heart center. So that's one little side. Then I'll do it one more time on the other side. I'll give you a minute. Take a nice deep breath. And we'll inhale up and back, pushing the hips forward. Exhale down, as much bend in your knees as you like. Step your left foot back. And bring your chest and chin up, gazing up, feeling a stretch on the left side, hip flexor. Bring your palms to the floor. Step your right foot back. You can be in plank here or have your knees down. And then drop your knees. Get a nice little curve in your low back, pointing your butt at the floor, at the ceiling, and then bring your chest and chin down toward the floor. You got 8 points touching the ground: your toes, your knees, your chest, your chin, your hands. And then push forward into baby cobra. So you're lifting your chest up, pressing your belly into the floor. And then now push back into down dog. So you're lifting your hips, lifting your tailbone up toward the ceiling, and gently pushing back with your heels. I'm one of those yoga teachers that my heels still do not touch the floor. I think just physiologically, we're not all meant to have really long hamstrings. So never beat yourself up for what your body does. If it doesn't look like the picture on the magazine, no problem. So just, you can alternate your heels here. Think of pushing your chest toward your thighs. And then look up between your hands. Step your left foot up between them. Come back into another lunge, chest and chin looking up. And then exhale. Bring your right foot to meet your left. We're in forward fold here. And then inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. So that is a Dharma sun salutation each side. And so that's just something I love doing because it's full body. And then once you kind of know the sequence, which you can watch this over and over again and get it where it's something you know to do repeatedly, but it's really great to compare, and it warms you up, but to compare what it feels like when you do it first thing in the morning, what it can feel like if you do it around lunch or evening, and it's amazing what a difference you can feel in your body. So to me, it's really encouraging of like, okay, just because I'm creaky in the morning doesn't mean I'll be creaky all day. Okay, so let's come back down to our knees. Let's, in a lunge with your left foot forward, right knee back, and just gently pushing forward and back. Warming the knees, opening up your right hip flexor. And this again is about you feeling into you. Do you need a little more with your hamstring, lengthening your leg, or a little more push, opening up? But do that a few more times. And then we'll come into a deep lunge. Clasp your hands in front of you, pointing your fingers, your pointer fingers forward, and then see about keeping your gaze right where you're pointing, looking at your hands, and then begin to just draw a line straight up with your arms, bringing them back, like trying to bring them back behind your ears again. Lunging forward, lifting everything up, pulling your ribs up away from your hips. This is another beautiful full body stretch. Involves a little balance. Just hold there for a breath or two. We're almost done with all the hard stuff. We can come onto the floor. So go ahead and reverse that when you're ready. Push your hips back. And then just come onto your knees and we'll switch to the other side. We'll just balance out, and then we'll come onto the floor and relax. So we have our right foot up in the front, left knee down. Go ahead and move forward and backward, finding length in the back of your leg and hamstring when you bring your hips back, and openness in your left hip flexor. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing on this side. Kind of lunge forward, looking at your hands, clasp together, and then bring them up, pointing at the sky, and see if you can open up, pushing forward through your hips and lifting up through your torso. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Okay, nice job. Really nice job. So I encourage you to play around with these, try them again, and feel your own progress. All right, I'm going to come back and just lay flat on the ground. We just got our heart rate up a little bit, so it feels so good to come into that same mountain pose I had you in earlier. This time, make sure you roll your shoulders up and back underneath you. And just lay for a moment and tune in. Do you feel your pulse? Can you feel it pumping in your face? Do you feel it in your hands, in your feet? All right. Take a few more breaths there if you're ready, or feel free if your neck or shoulders or anything's asking for some stretch, go ahead and do that. And now, whenever you're ready, bring your right knee up. You can clasp your hands around your right knee and begin to just move it left and right, or in little circles. We'll do a little more opening through our hips, and this is a nice little massage on your low back on the ground. You can allow your right knee to fall open to your right side, and put your hand on top of your knee as a little weight. And just take a few breaths there, feeling that opening up toward the floor, your right knee. And you can have your left hand either on your hip, I like doing that because it kind of encourages me to keep my left hip on the floor while my right knee is guided open to the floor on the opposite side. And then you can inhale your knee up and across, and exhale, bringing your left knee all the way over to the right side. And this time we're thinking of keeping your right shoulder toward the floor. Trying to keep your body flat on the ground. You feel a nice stretch all the way across from your knee up to your shoulder. Long, deep inhales, and sigh with that exhale and find a little more length. One more nice long inhale and exhale on this side. Nice job. Now come back onto your back. You can bring both knees up. Give yourself a little low back massage. Doing little circles with both knees together. And then make them more exaggerated. Get your whole back massage. This is another one of my favorites. This just doesn't get old. Rolling around on the ground and giving yourself a massage. Okay, when you're ready, you can bring your right leg nice and long, keeping your left knee up toward your chest, your hands on top, and begin little circles on the left side. Opening up the left hip. And then when you're ready, you can let that left leg, left knee open up, gently guiding it toward the floor on the left side. Again, noticing how different is one side from the other. Keeping your shoulders nice and flat on the ground. Maybe using your right hand to hold your right hip toward the floor. Try not to let it pop up as you let your left knee relax toward the ground. Breathing into that inner thigh. Releasing tightness that you might find. Just letting it go. Okay, one more breath here. And then on the next inhale, guiding that left knee all the way across the body. Exhaling it toward the floor on the opposite side. Opening up your left arm and keeping your left shoulder on the floor. At least toward the floor. Looking for that nice long line from our knee to our shoulder. You can keep your right hand on top of your left knee to kind of guide it toward the floor. Just nice long inhales. Scanning for where you can find tension and just let it dissolve. You might feel it in your glute. Just breathe into it. Feel it dissolve with your exhale, leaving your body. Nice job. Do another little body scan. Make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. Your jaw, even your toes, sometimes or your fists, you'll realize, oh, I'm clenching. Why am I doing that? Okay. Let's come back onto our backs. Get another low back massage. You find where you need to wiggle to roll out what your body's asking for. If you bring your knees up higher, you get a massage higher on your back. Just breathe with, if you're making little circles, think about matching it with your breath. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you contract. All right, let's try happy baby. Bring in the bottoms of your feet up. You can start with one hand and one foot, just grasping the outside bone of your foot. See if you can get one at a time, or can you get them both together? I know our younger, more limber students here have no trouble with this. But this is another place you can feel a back massage as you roll left or right. And just really enjoy. You can see if you can straighten your legs one at a time or together. Just enjoy how silly you look and make sure you're not holding your breath. Breathing with your motion. Really feeling your low back release and open. Okay, when you're ready, you can bring both of your feet down to the floor. And I'm going to bring my legs fully extended, nice and long. And then with your palms facing down, just wiggle your hands right under your rear. So you're laying on top of your wrists. Or you've got your seat on top of your wrists. And then just gently pushing your elbows underneath you against the mat. See if you can pull your chest up toward the ceiling, allowing your head to fall back. So it's like you're looking back behind you. The top of your head is almost touching the mat. This is fish pose. I love this. It's like opening up, arching your back. Just take a few breaths here, and if it's feeling like too much on your neck, just relax back down to the mat when you're ready. Okay, so I'm straightening my neck, laying it back on the mat. Get your hands out from under you again. Feet on the mat. Another little low back roll and stretch. Okay. Now we'll come into a nice yoga nidra, guided full body relaxation. So just get your body nice and comfortable. If you want a blanket under your knees or under your low back or rolled up under your neck, whatever you need to do to get yourself really comfortable. And say to yourself, I will not fall asleep during the instruction. I will not fall asleep during the instruction. But we're going to let our mind stay active while we let our bodies fully relax. So again, do a little scan. Make sure you're letting your feet fall open. The backs of your hands are on the ground where you can have you're not pulling your shoulders out of alignment. You've got them rolled underneath you, your chest open. So body in nice alignment, fully relaxed. And just bring your attention into your left hand. See if you can detect your pulse there. And just feel your entire left hand, left fingers and wrist just completely relax, heavy on the floor. Feel that relaxation spread up your left arm, into your left shoulder. It's also heavy on the ground. Feel it spreading down your left side, into your left hip. Feel it also just nestle deeper into the earth. There's no need to hold any tightness, any tension. Feel it spreading down your left leg, through your knee and your calf, your ankle, the bottom of your foot, all your left toes are completely relaxed. And bring your attention into your right hand. Maybe you can detect your pulse there. And just feel it relax. And feel that spreading up your right arm, through your wrist, elbow, into your shoulder. Feel it getting heavier on the ground. All the way down your right ribs, into your right hip and glute. Just relaxed. Feel your thigh relax, your knee, calf, ankle, and your right foot and toes. Just dead-like, no movement. So your extremities are completely relaxed and still. You can bring your attention to your low back where it's touching the floor, fully supported. Feel that relaxation spread up your mid-back, upper back. Feel your belly light and loose. Your chest light and loose. Relaxation spreading across your chest, up into your throat, your jaw. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. Your cheeks soften. Your eyelids soften. It's almost like your eyeballs kind of drop back into your head. They're so relaxed. Your forehead, smooth in relaxation. Your scalp and your mind, your brain relaxed. So staying alert, but with our bodies completely relaxed and heavy. Just follow your breath for the next few moments. Try to stay with where you feel it in your body. And if thoughts creep in about other places you could be putting your attention, just notice it and let them dissolve. And just stay with your breath in your body. And scanning for anywhere else you might find that you're holding on to something. Just let it go. Okay, just gently begin to lengthen your inhales. Lengthen your exhales. See if you can make them longer than your inhales. So you might count 4 in, and 6 or 8 or even 12 on your exhale. Begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can circle your wrists, circle your ankles. You might bring the bottoms of your feet back to the floor. Begin little movements in your low back. And if you'd like, keeping your eyes closed, just go ahead and roll onto your side in the fetal position. Stay here for a few breaths. Just preparing to use your arms to push you up back into a seated position. We'll come back into the pose where we began class. So think about your spine, nice and long. That string pulling up to the sky, pulling everything up in nice alignment. Big inhales, and then just sigh out any tension. We should have it all gone at this point now, but you never know. Big inhale. Okay, I'm going to bring my hands up to heart center. And I'll do a big inhale and then hum with the exhale. And I invite you to join me in that. On the third one, I'll do an Om. I'll bow to each of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.